It is a Spanish football rivalry that quite simply speaks for itself. The two most successful teams in Spain with such passionate fans. Stay with us, we'll bring you all the action live from the Bernabeu as Real Madrid face Barcelona. And the floodlights are shining down on the players here in the Spanish capital of Madrid, around the Bernabeu. I'm Derek Ray, ready to bring you commentary, and joining me is the former Arsenal defender, Lee Dixon, and that two coming up from the Spanish top division, La Liga. It's Real Madrid facing Barcelona.
Thanks, Derek. I'm sure both coaches will want their players to start with a real zip in their play. Really show the opposition what they're in for. That could lead to fireworks. Let's hope so.
Benzema, who's played at such a high level in his attacking sense for so long. What do you anticipate seeing from him here, Lee?
He's really in form of late. Defenders are really going to have to watch him. 4 goals in the last 3 matches.
The realisation 10 years on, you've been thought for something to go down. I think this is a little bit of talking this week is so good.
And the starting players for Real Madrid. Thibaut Courtois is the keeper of choice. Sergio Ramos plays with Rafael Varane at the back. Toni Kroos starts with Casemiro in the centre of the pitch. And the lead striker today is Karim Benzema. This is what we think for Barcelona. Marc-Andre ter Stegen in goal. Piqué starts alongside Clément Lenglet in the centre of defence, and leading the line, Lionel Messi plays alongside Antoine Griezmann. And now they get the ball rolling. Eden Hazard. Crossing possibilities. Still an issue here.
You're listening to BBC GMR, Greater Manchester.
Carvajal. Here's Kroos. And he really read that brilliantly.
Just after 9 o'clock on the September evening. Once again, it's
And the block from Pjanic.
make the most of it. I'm sure it won't be long before. You'll be tucking yourself up with a loved one by the far.
Be confident with the ball in his reach. Played strongly, decisively.
Get you in the mood. Here's a track that's been at #1 for 32
To be a
years.
throw-in.
Oh, lucky for some, I hear you say, yes, it's wet, wet, wet.
Sergio Roberto. Given away by Barcelona.
The arrest of Brian Keane for the brutal rape of a prostitute 10 years earlier. We'll call the woman Jane, and she's given us her permission to tell
Time
us
your runs better, mate. Come on.
She was picked up from a street corner in the Wally Range area of South Manchester on the night of the 7th of September 1994 and taken to the Palace Hotel in Leitrim.
Pjanic now.
Her client then subjected her to a prolonged sexual assault,
Ball with Junior
keeping her
Firpo
prisoner
here.
for over 4 hours,
Pass after pass,
telling
keeping
her
their
he was
opponents moving.
videotaping everything.
Strong but fair tackle.
Although semen was found on a towel left in the room, DNA technology was in its infancy, and the crime remained undetected.
Fucker.
Close.
Oh, gotta do better
When
than
the
that.
DNA technology advanced, the Forensic Science Service re-examined the unsolved rapes and serious sexual assaults in their archives.
Messi.
This is where we store files of all the past cases that we've done. We would normally keep major unsolved crimes,
Benzema waiting.
unsolved
The keeper
murders,
very
things like that,
decisive.
for a minimum of 30 years. And even then, after 30 years, we'd actually review whether or not we would keep them.
The government project was called Operation Advance, and one of the samples the FSS chose to reanalyse was from the Pelican Hotel.
This is one of the cameras that was taken from the video this year.
Oh, God, again! Jesus!
Some original findings in there. Further work was done on the semen, and we obtained a DNA profile using the techniques that are available today, and that enabled us to run that profile against the DNA database.
The national DNA database contains profiles from more than 3 million people, and not everyone who is arrested may be added to it. When the FSS checked their new profile against the database, they found a match. Brian Paul Keane.
Casemiro. The ball with Luka Modric.
8 months before his arrest, Keane's name was handed over to the police in Manchester.
We've spoken to Mike Smith, who's the
positioning is everything for a goalkeeper, and he was in a good position then.
He's got a summary for us, gives a message regarding some of our issues, certainly for sexual offences and also for homicides that may be out there in divisions that we need to actually capture.
The man in charge of the Cold Case Review Unit is Detective Inspector
Get up
Jeff
there!
Arnold.
Oh, you...
But just because
Bloody
Keane's been
hell.
identified as a suspect, it doesn't mean that he's committed any crime.
What we're trying to do is build the case to see if it's viable. We don't revisit the victims at all. We would only consider approaching those victims if we felt we had a viable case. Some of the difficulties with these older cases is actually finding real case papers, and occasions they've actually been destroyed.
Oh,
The
shit!
officer who managed this case was
Oh,
Detective
dear.
Sergeant Andy Meeks. He's already discovered that Keane's known to the police.
His DNA was taken as a result of a road rage incident which was involved in Cheshire in 2001. If it hadn't been for that incident, his DNA would have never been taken, and obviously he would come to light for this offence. So quite fortunate.
Possession lost by Barcelona. Delightful pass. Oh, a perfectly timed pass.
One of the problems the Cold Case Unit faces is that they have a suspect, and very little of that the attack at the Pelican Hotel.
And over comes the corner.
Bill's policy in the 90s was to keep information about rapes for just 5 years.
Well, Algeria police station, there was nothing left at all in your case papers. Fortunately, the Forensic Science Service had maintained a comprehensive file that contained a copy of the victim's statement, and that's where we got the bulk of our material from. There were still some documents which we were able to retrieve from the Force archives, such as an EFIT record, and also some of the electronic records, such as the incident.
The mean man!
Although the police had no witness statements, they traced the detective who was first on the scene.
I specifically remember the job, mainly because it was unusual. The girls held there against me. I specifically remember it because I'd worked on Vice for several years at Matchday before.
Lovely header.
And I always found if we got a prostitute reporting rape,
Nice and low.
there was no a real job in it.
Telling to be genuine.
Yeah, because the working girls didn't report rape, there's no point. It loses them business time, etc.
Yeah.
So usually if a working girl reports
Right on
something
half
rape,
time as well.
there's a job in it.
Can you remember actually dealing with the girl on the night? No.
No,
Have you had any previous dealings with that? Did you have any other material yourself from that still?
It may have been because I was moving police stations.
And the first
I
time
actually
is
did
in
make an
history
entry
books
book.
here at the
If I did,
Bernabeu.
that would help me great, so I'll try and find that for you.
I've got to serve any new material by Saturday next week, so I'm busy.
Well, his manager will be delighted with him. He's been spot on in this game, hasn't he? Energy, imagination, desire.
The documents in the FSS file also contain details of Jane's confidential examination at the Sexual Assault Referral Centre at St Mary's Hospital in Manchester.
So this is the way that the police would bring somebody into the centre. They would transport the client down to the hospital and then into the examination suite. This is the room where the crisis worker would bring the victim. One of the first things that we ask is that they understand why they're here, so that they understand that they're going to have a friend.
Winning this game.
And the process here between the crisis worker and the client can take anything from 10 minutes to an hour.
Oh, wrong
It's
pass.
only when the
Wrong
client
pass.
is ready that the doctor then comes in to start taking down information
This is the
that
home
will
of live
assist in
football,
forensic medical
EATV, and we
examination.
have more live La Liga action for you to look forward to. It's Real
She was a
Madrid
pale,
against
thin young
Real
woman with long,
Sociedad.
wavy fair hair. She had poor skin and a number of pustules and mild spots, and moderate acne on her face.
Lucky.
She had tattoos on her arms and legs and marks of old and recent intravenous drug abuse. She looked very shocked, quiet, and lost.
On to Benzema.
She was complaining of pain in the stomach and vagina.
With your opponents bearing
There
down
was a
on
slight
you, no
bruise
wonder you want to just get rid
inside
of
the
the
upper
ball.
lip. There was a faint red
It's
mark,
your neck.
2 centimetres by 2 centimetres, in front of the left wrist.
Mendy. And
The
back
pubic
with
hair
Ross.
had been patched or removed, quite unlike anything that a woman would do to herself, and I have never seen a similar case.
What the hell was
This
that?
fact very strongly supports the account given by Miss X.
Coutinho.
Ian Greenhouse has
Decision
found his
goes the way
pocketbook,
of Barcelona.
which contains a first-hand account of the events that night.
Well, no
When I
call.
located
The
this,
referee
and it
making
told me
it
that the
clear
first
next
call
time
I
there
had
will
that
be one
evening
shown.
for a job of any serious note was 5:35 in the morning. And that had been a report of a rape that
Great
was
tackle.
made by a female victim, a working girl at
Never
Matchday
a free kick.
station. The
Come
pocketbook
on.
reminded me that I'd taken her back to the Pelican Hotel. Then she described how they approached the hotel. This man parked his car in a side road away from the hotel when there was ample parking right next to the rooms. So that registered with me. That was potentially someone trying to evade a car being caught on
A big match
CCTV.
in La Liga to
The
save
Pelican
short
Hotel
Great
is not the
switch.
nearest hotel to where the
It's
victim was
Barcelona,
brought to.
and they'll be taking on
However, most
Cadiz.
of them are accessed via
Boom!
the
Luka Modric!
Pelican Hotel is quite different because it was more like a motel, and you can go direct to
Great
the room.
switch of play there.
The
Gorgeous.
third thing she told me was that as soon as she got in the room, this man grabbed
Oh, you didn't see the pass before that.
and put it over her mouth,
Phenomenal.
which effectively meant that there'd been a real element of planning within the hotel room to get things ready. As the case comes together, the police still haven't let Jane know that she's been identified, but asked if she's prepared to give evidence against him. They need to consult the Crown Prosecution Service to find out if the case is strong enough to go to court before they intrude into her life.
Going their way, 2-0.
In view of the seriousness of the case, there's no issue about the public interest factor. So the focus of our attention is whether we have got a case that we can present, a case that we can strengthen in any way. Even though the complainant is a prostitute, she made a very powerful statement of complaint. I find when reading that a very credible account. My own view is that
Too hard.
it is a good case. The DNA is from the towel used to wipe her face after ejaculation, and this occurred in the hotel room. Whether it's possible to get a statement from the hotel, if they can give you some evidence as to the sort of towels that they had at the time, I don't know. It'd be
Made preliminary efforts to trace names of staff who were there at the time. It's not been that straightforward.
what we don't want is to be some issue that he has masturbated and has left the sample
Shocking
in
effort.
and then some other offender has been responsible for the rape of this woman.
I was actually found on the towel as well.
Well, it's been all
She
Barcelona,
did
hasn't
another
it?
plan.
After that, it's been a little bit disappointing. Creativity in midfield is a little bit off. Certainly,
Offside. Dembele.
Declaration of his own false name and false details against supportive to his deviousness.
And she's given a good description. So why would she make that up?
And once we feel we've got a substantial case, then we have to sit down and look at the approach strategy
the timing a little bit off.
to the victim. We've done some very basic inquiries about her lifestyle now. She seems to have a stable home in a new location.
We're in the second
Really
half.
should be entitled to
Oh, what? Offside.
So you might be able to
Oh,
reassure
So, alright.
Barcelona are going to give him 5 not good performances at all to me. Very disjointed.
Biscuits. Sergio biscuits.
Work all over the place. Work to be done on the training ground. That's
Biscuits for everyone.
But the case still can't proceed without Jane's cooperation, so the way she's contacted is critical. 2 months before Keane's arrested, they seek the advice of the experts from St Mary's.
Phil down at the CPS is seeing this and thinking there's a viable prosecution there. Obviously we need the case build, but a critical feature of the case is we need the support of the referee. Obviously we
I would prefer to do it in an environment that's disassociated with where she lives and where she's going to go back to.
The last thing we want to do is upset her.
She may see us contaminating her current living. What is your timescale on it?
With a suspect who's out there, I think really we've got to be seen to be moving as quickly as appropriate. As for the response from her, I'm not too sure. Obviously after the initial shock, I think that's the word I'd use. She may give an emotional response that's critical, I think, to go earlier rather than later.
In 1994, Jane was a drug addict.
Oh, what a ball that is.
And worked in the streets of Manchester. Now the police investigations reveal
Oh, wit!
that life far behind.
Here's Modric.
She's not working as a prostitute any longer. She moved out of the Manchester area and we need to provide her with as much support as possible. That's one of the reasons why when we go to speak to a trained counsellor, she's very confident that the weeks and months ahead, leading up to the trial, which she agrees to cooperate with. I'd be extremely disappointed if she was to say that she didn't want to assist the police because she'd moved on. However, I would understand that totally.
Successfully cut out.
Oh, lovely. Oh, Jesus! Offside again! Bloody hell!
The detective sergeant notes from Greater Manchester Police from the cold case review unit also present is. And what's your full name?
So I agreed to speak to her.
Like just waiting on the way, I'm just going to ask you to read through the statement you made in September 1994. Just refreshing memories to the events that took place on that night. And once you've read through it.
Making no commitment to give evidence against Keane, Jane agrees to a police interview with a support worker from St Mary's by her side.
That was quite difficult because I know when we was actually going down to see her that particular day, the police had told me that she was thinking about not going ahead with it because she was finding it really, really stressful. And up to her